Let us learn about this. The concurrent execution. So in order to understand about concurrent execution, first we need to understand what is concurrency. Concurrency might be a hard word, so let us break it down in simple terms. Concurrent execution is also termed as pseudo parallelism. So let us break down this word pseudo and parallelism. Let us know what is parallelism mean. Parallelism comes from the word parallel. Okay. Now we know what parallel is. Mathematical definition of parallel. Parallel, or more specifically parallel lines, are set of lines. Take for example set of 1, 2 and 3 lines. Set of multiple lines which if extended from both sides, from this side, from this side, from this, they do not intersect at any point. They just go on and never get intersected at any point. This is parallel. Now with contrast to that parallel, what is parallelism? Parallelism is basically multiple tasks, okay? Multiple tasks. So this is task 1, this is task 2, this is task 3. Multiple tasks running at the same time, okay? 1, 2 and 3. So multiple tasks running at the same time without interfering each other, okay? So no task interferes with each other. If it does, then it breaks the concept of parallelism. Parallelism is basically all the task, whichever task we have, running at the same time without interfering each other. That is what parallelism is. Basically a sort of multitasking where different tasks take place at the same time, at the real time same time, but never interfere any each other's activity or events. That is parallelism. Now with contrast to it, we have pseudo parallelism. What is pseudo? Pseudo is basically a synonym for fake or pretending. Pseudo parallelism, fake parallelism which is pretended, which is not actually parallelism but looks like, gives an illusion of parallelism. That is pseudo parallelism. Suppose we have tasks, okay? So task 1, task 2, task 3. This is parallelism if all the tasks are taking place at the same time without interfering each other. That is parallelism. What is pseudo parallelism? It gives an illusion of parallelism, but it isn't. Suppose task 1 is running now in the real time. It shifts to task 2 and then to task 3. But when one task is running, the other two tasks stop. They don't run. That is what pseudo parallelism is. And the shifting of the task. So in parallelism, all three work at the same time. But in pseudo parallelism, one task at one time only, other two tasks stop. But the shifting between the each task take place so fast it looks like parallelism. It gives an illusion of parallelism, but it isn't parallelism. That is when we call it pseudo parallelism. So what is pseudo parallelism? Pseudo parallelism is basically an illusion of parallelism. It is not actually an parallelism but gives an illusion. If we look at the textbook definition, see, concurrent execution, also pseudo parallelism, is achieved through sharing of CPU among the processors. So this happens so fast, sharing of CPU and other system resources. So this happens so fast. Just look at is. Okay. See, a computing concept where a single core processor creates the illusion of executing multiple tasks simultaneously. See, a computer concept where a single core process creates illusion of executing, not actually parallelism, but creates an illusion of parallelism. So, pseudo parallelism is basically what concurrent execution is. It's just another name for it. So, if we search for concurrent execution in operating system, we can see here the OS switches the CPU between different processes so quickly that they appear to run at the same time. See, the OS switches the CPU between processes so quickly that they appear to run at the same time, but they are actually not running at the same time. That is what parallelism or pseudo parallelism means. If you want, you can just read the whole definition. This is an AI overview. Here are all the other studies about concurrency in operating system, which you can go through. But in the nutshell, this is what pseudo parallelism is. This is what concurrent execution is. Concurrent execution is basically an illusion of parallelism. The task, the tasks are shared between CPU so quickly that it feels like parallelism. So if you look at the diagrammatical definition of parallelism, so suppose this is parallelism, okay, suppose this is parallelism. So in parallelism, the CPU does multiple tasks at the same time, simultaneously, whereas in the concurrency or pseudo parallelism, we have CPU and we have multiple tasks. The tasks is shared between CPU, as I said here. Sharing of the CPU among the processes. Okay, sharing of the CPU among the processes or tasks. The tasks are shared between the CPU so quickly that it looks parallelism. The CPU does one task at a time, but each task shares the CPU spontaneously, one at a time. And this happens so fast, it feels like parallelism, but it isn't. So, basic definition: parallelism is the doing of multiple work by CPU at the same time, multiple tasks, multiple processors, multiple events at the same time, whereas concurrency or pseudo parallelism is a concept where the task is shared between CPU, different tasks. Each task is done one at a time, and the task shift so fast that it feels parallelism, but it isn't. Hope you like the video.